Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Tuesday, the 20th of July 2021. It's pretty early here in Bangkok. We shall be ready to play our medium level Sudoku in just a sec. I say medium level, usually it's just somewhere between easy and medium, maybe easy level, generally for a Tuesday for the Guardian. The musician that I would like to mention today is Andy Hague, a trumpeter and sometimes drummer from Bristol, who has produced some fantastic albums. And I believe I just saw on the website that he is about to release a new album too, so much look forward to that. Check out his music from the links below. Listen to jazz, some great jazz. He's a great jazz trumpeter. I wish him all the best. Right, now let's get on with our Sudoku puzzle for today, and I will just explain how we play the rules. So we will see that we have squares across like so, squares down in columns like so. So we have rows, columns, and there are 9 squares in each row and in each column. And then again we have these blocks, boxes, or you can see with a blue line between dividing them. What we do is we fit numbers 1 to 9 in each of the rows, columns, and blocks. And each number can appear once only. And that's an important thing to remember. So, if we consider this block here, we see 4 empty squares. We can call them cells if we like. We see that this 9 is in this row here, right? This row here already contains a 9. Now, there are only 9 squares, so each number can fit in a square once only. And so, we've got 9 and 3 already. So all of the other numbers have to fit into this row. It means 9 can't reappear. So 9 clearly can't be here or here. Now we also have a 9 in this column here, and this is blocking down. So it means that 9 can't appear here or here. So if it can't appear in any of these 3 squares, logically, it can appear here. And not only can, but must if we are to finish the game correctly. Like a jigsaw, like a regular kind of jigsaw, there is only one solution to this puzzle. And there's some strange sounds if you're hearing in the background. There's some birds that I have no idea, but they make that screeching sound every morning here in Bangkok. So that's how we play the game. We look for the idea of uniqueness, seeing that something can fit into only one particular square. So let's try again, shall we? For example, this 7 blocking across this row. So 7 is now eliminated from these 3 squares, and look along this row here, the same thing. So 7 is eliminated from these 3 squares. Now, if we notice down here, there's a 7 in this column. So that means 7 is blocked here, and there's a 7 here, and that means 7 also is blocked here. This whole column here. So there's only one square that isn't interfered with by an outside 7, and it's this one here. So we can fill it in like that. Let's take this 7 blocking up here, this 7 blocking this column up here, and this 7 blocking across this row here. So in this block up here, there's only one. I think you can see fairly easily when it's highlighted, there's only one square that's not affected by these 3 7s. And that's about all we can do with digit 7 for the moment, so we shall come and look later. Now, something we couldn't have got before, but we can now, because now we've limited this row. We only have 2 squares in this block in this row, whereas a moment ago we had 3, and that's going to change the situation. So once we get a number, things change. Now, for example, this one blocks across this row, which was here before, and this one blocks across this row, which is here before, right? So these 3 squares are out, these 3 squares are out. Now, a moment ago, we could have had 2 empty squares, so we wouldn't have known anything more. But now, when we see this one blocking this square down here, we can see there is only one square left, because we've already filled this square with a different number, and so 1 has got to go there. In fact, let's look at this 2 blocking across here and this 2 blocking across here. About a nice little pattern of, I don't know what to say, symmetry, kind of. 2 blocking across here, 2 blocking across here, and now there's only 1 square left in that middle row, so that's got to be a 2. Now, in this row, right, we've got 1, 2, 3. We don't have a 4 yet. We don't know much about that, but we also don't have a 5 yet in this row. But look here, there's a 5 in this block here. So what does it mean? It means no 5 can reappear in this block. So this square and this square clearly can't be 5. And we don't have a 5 in this row, so we'll look over here now. That leaves us with 2 squares. But look, there's a 5 up here blocking this square here. So 5's got to go there. This 5 blocking across here, this 5 blocking across here, and this 5 blocking up here gives us a 5 in this square here as well. Right, this square here, I'm going to look at this row here, consider this row here, okay? And we see that this square here is blocked by this 2. There's a 2 here blocking this square. There's a 2 here blocking this square here. So these 2 squares can't be 2 because of this one and this one. And then when we continue along, we see, look at this square here, and we say, hey, there's an intersecting 2 here as well. So there's only one place left in this row that's not seen by a 2, and it's that square there. Okay, so I'm just looking around. You know, the game tends to go in fits and starts. Sometimes you see something, then you have to wait a while to see something else. And sometimes you look in the wrong place for quite some time and then you don't see anything, so you have to stop looking in that place. We don't have much in the way of 4. 4 is very sparse today. Okay, but what I can see is in this block here, there are 3 empty cells, 3 missing numbers, okay? So we should count through and find out what they are. Now we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. We don't have 4, we do have 5, we don't have 6, and we don't have 8. So we are missing 4, 6, and 8, which need to go into these 3 empty squares. But when we look down here, we see a 4 and a 6 in this column, both of them pointing at this square here. This 6 and 4 are in the same column, so it means that it can't be 6 and it can't be 4, and if that's true, then it's got to be 8, because it can't be anything else. And so now this 8 blocks along here, so this square and this square are eliminated as candidates for 8. 8 must be placed in this square here, and now we can see 8 blocking along this top row of this block here, sorry, 8 blocks along this row here, and then 8 blocking down here, up here, and so an 8's got to appear in that square there. I hope that this logic is appealing to you. We should always, when we see a couple of numbers missing like this, we should check and see what they are, because we might be able to get them. We've got 1, 2, we don't have 4, and we don't have 6. So we know 4 and 6 go here, and guess what? There's a blocking 6 down here. So we know that 6 has to go here, and 4 has to go here like this, because that's the last number. Excuse the background traffic noise. Added for effects. This 5 blocks across this row here, so this square and this square are out. this 5 blocks up. So we can only consider this row here now. This 5 blocks this square, this 5 blocks this square, and so 5's got to go there. This 3 here, we don't yet have a 3 in this block, okay, and this 3 here blocks these 2 squares. So we have to consider these 2, and this 3 blocks this square, so 3's got to go there. Right, okay, so I spent some time looking fruitlessly at something there, but that's how the game often goes, is that sometimes you examine something for patterns, for looking for missing numbers for some time, but you don't actually find anything, and if you don't, never mind. But what I can see now is in this column here, we have 2 missing numbers. Okay, the missing numbers are in fact 1 and 9. We don't have 1. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but we don't have 9. But look here, over here there's an intersecting 9. This 9 here means that that can't be 9. So it's got to be the other number, which is 1, and the 9 must appear down here now. We also don't have a 1 in this row across here, right? But look, there's a 1 here blocking this square. So the 1's got to go in this square here. And the last number to get in this row, if we count through, we'll find it's 4. 1, 2, 3. There's no 4 yet. So we can place our 4 there. And now that we've got that, that will be helpful because it will block 4 up here and 4 blocking up here. So that will give us that single square up there where we can place a 4. Okay, where to next? Well, there are 2 numbers missing in this column, so we should just check just in case we can find what's missing. Do we have a 1? No, we don't. We have a 2. Do we have a 3? No, we don't. So these squares must be 1 and 3, and guess what? Here's a 3 blocking this square. So the 3 goes here, and the 1 goes here. Now this one will block along this row. So in this block here, which doesn't yet have a 1, we can block this square and this square. And here's a 1 from above blocking down here. And so I think you can see the 1 has to fit there. There's only one one of these blocks that doesn't have a digit 1 yet. Look, we have 1 here, 1, 1, yes, 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 yes. This block here doesn't have a 1 yet. But I know that we can find it because if you are just a single digit missing from any block, you can always get it. So we can see this one blocking across here, this one blocking across here, and that gives us just 1 place left. Okay, what else do we need to do? Maybe we should examine this here. Let's see, 1s, we've got 2s, 2 blocking up here. 2s. So I'm talking to myself now for a moment. You have to look for these patterns. So I see 2 and a 3 blocking here, 2 and 3 blocking here. So I know that 2 and 3 have to appear in these 2 squares here. So I can calculate the other ones. If this is 2 and 3, right, because 2 and 3 are blocking up here, then these have to be the other 2 squares that we don't, other 2 numbers we don't yet have. So we've got 1 here, right? And we've got 2, 3 in here, 4, 5, 6. So the missing numbers are 7 and 8 because we've already got a 9 here. So we know that 7 and 8 must appear in these 2 squares. And look, this 7 here means that can't be 7. So 7 goes there, 8 goes there. if we click on that 7 again, you'll see 7 blocking across here. This 7 blocking down here now gives us the final 7. As I said, we can always get the very last one. So that goes there. And we can get this number as well, because we already know what these two are, right? We said a moment ago it has to be 2 or 3. So we'll imagine that 2 or 3 is here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No 8 yet. So that's got to be an 8 there. The missing numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing 5 and 9 in these two squares, but just as yet we can't say which is which. We know 5 and 9 go here, but that's all. We don't know anything else just yet. But that will be remedied in a second, because now I see this 5 blocking down here, and see that we don't yet have a 5 in this block here. So this 5 blocks this square and this square, so the 5 has to go here, doesn't it? And now I know that the 5 can't appear here. The 5's got to be here, and the 9's got to be here like this. Missing numbers in this block now. We don't yet have a 2, we have a 1. We don't have a 2, but this 2 here blocks this square, this 2 here, so 2 goes there. 3, we don't yet have, we have 4, 5, we don't yet have an 8, sorry. 8 goes there. This 8 we can block all the way up now, so this column here, these 3 squares up here are taken out by this 8, and you'll see 8 blocking across here and blocking across here, so the 8 must go there. There's only one number missing in this row. Now remember, one number missing means we can get it. It's a 4. If you count through, you'll see we don't yet have a 4, so that's what we can place there now. There's one number missing in this column down here. Now I happen to know that it's a 9, because earlier on when you thought I was silent, well, I was silent actually, I was silent for a reason, because I was inspecting the rows and columns around here, and looking at what I might be able to do and what I couldn't do, and that was what I came up with, what I couldn't do. Right. So we've got 6s and 4s are missing, by the way, if you're wondering what's going on here. 6s and 4s are missing numbers in these particular squares, but we don't have anything to work on with them. So we're going to look again, we're going to change tack, and we're going to look in another location. We're going to look at this square here, because in fact if we see this 6 blocks along here, and this 6 blocks all the way along here, so no 6s are allowed in these 4 squares. 6 has to go here, and now this blocks this square, and there's only one square left, 6, and that is the end of the puzzle, because you get to a certain stage in Sudoku and you just need one more number that can give you the rest, give you everything else that's missing, and that was it. I happen to know, even though I've not played this game at all before, this is the first time, I recognize a kind of key number, and once you get that, everything else will come crashing down. So I know that this is now a 4, I know that this is a 6, and that this is a 4, and I know that because I'd already calculated which numbers were missing in those particular squares. There were only 2 missing, and so it's a choice. It's either A or B. You don't. It's as simple as that. It's this one or it's that one. Like down here, this can't be a 6 now because we have a 6 blocking down here, so it has to be a 6. And there's only one number left, which is a 9, and so it has to go in here. Okay. So certain times you can play a much more rapid pace, because you already know what has to go in. Right, now that's come to like a little flurry. That small flurry has come to an end, but it's not over, because as I said, I know that was enough to finish the game, and I'm going to prove it to you now, because I see this 9, sorry, blocking these 2 squares up here, and this 9 blocking these squares here, so a 9 must be placed there. And now that we know that this 9 blocks across here and this 9 blocks up here, so this can't be a 9, 9 must be here, like so. One number is missing now from here, 1, 2, it's a 3, so we place our 3 here. We know that 3 now can't go in this square, but if you remember from way back, we had 2 and 3 missing here and here, so this is our 2 and this is our 3. Now we have one number missing across this row, and it's a 2, so we can put our 2 here. Now you can see how we're finishing, because look, there's just one number missing here, one number missing here, and then that will leave us one number missing here and one number missing here, right? It's very easy. Shall I do this one? 1, 2, 3. This is a 4. 1. We don't yet have a 2 in this block, so that's a 2. So let's do these last numbers here. What's missing? 1, 2. We don't yet have a 3, but look, here's an intersecting 3. So 3 is forced into that square there, and the last number, if we count 3, is going to be a 4. 1, 2, 3. We don't yet have a 4. I'll put it in as a small number. Don't worry about what that means, but it's just because the online software that I'm using to display this to you means that as soon as I put in the final digit, the screen erupts and says, "Congratulations, well done. It was a pretty easy puzzle. Couldn't you have done it faster?" In a very sarcastic way. No, it doesn't do any of that. It just actually just says the end, and I will say the end. So please, if you aren't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to it. Come back and play more Sudoku. Check out the medium puzzles, and progress forwards, and then onto the harder and expert level puzzles. And hope to see you again. Thank you for joining me from Bangkok now. Bye bye.